Yo, what's up, guys? This is your boy RG Madao, and I got an awesome NU battle. I brought back my old NU team, so you know, a couple of nostalgia for y'all. Plus, my opponent Hopeless was really good in this battle, and it was one of the best battles I've had in a while. In fact, it ends in a close match, which is what I've been dying to get. I've been trying to get a very close match for you guys, but just haven't had the chance. And luckily for me, a good friend in the form of Hopeless was able to give me that. So anyway, if you're watching this Hopeless, you know we can battle anytime. But let's start talking about the battle. Now I'm going to lead off my life. He's going to lead off the Bastion, and I'm just going to want to get the swag on it, just so it can hit itself, try to break that 30, and that way, and I really just want to see how much a foul play could actually do to this thing after a swagger. I knew it wouldn't do anything, but I really wanted just to see how much it would do. But unfortunately for me, you know, I go for the encore this turn, and I am able to lock my opponent into that stealth rock. Now, before I did misclick going for the swagger second turn. I meant to go for the encore second turn. But, oh well, worked out in my favor because my opponent did happen to hit him, so it's beautiful for me. Now my opponent's going to withdraw into Mungus. A smart play on his part, but I'm going to go for the swagger yet again, predicting the switch, just try to get that bigger attack raise. Now, I'm going to go for the foul play this turn, hoping that it will do some decent damage to this Mungus, but my opponent knows he's going to go straight on to Bastion. I'm guessing my opponent has seen this set before, or my fault, I went for swagger. I'm guessing my opponent has seen this set before, that's why he is playing around it, trying to not get that much damage on it. But anyway, once again, the beginning of this battle is really just me trying to swagger him, trying to get that confused attacks going. But my opponent, Hopeless, just doesn't let me do that. He just keeps on switching between Bastion and the Moon, just trying to get those rocks up, trying to do all the stuff. And I finally get to get that foul play off, and it does pitiful damage. Maybe with +6 attack, it could be a 3-shot. That does pitiful damage, and finally my opponent decides to roar me out, knowing that there's pretty much nothing but a hopeless cycle of swagger and foul play. Now, luckily for me, I do get roared down to my Swallow, so I'm able to get my guts activated through Flame Orb. However, it does take a hefty amount of health away from Swallow, and every ounce of health on Swallow is precious because Swallow is frail as crap. And I'm going to go into my Cordilli just to set up my own rocks, and I was hoping I would get Tentacle, knowing that the Roar was going to come though, and luckily for me, I do get Tentacle, which was the last thing my opponent wanted to see. So she's going to switch out into Executive. I'm just going to go for the safe Rapid Spin. I needed that Rapid Spin. And now I'm thinking, alright, he could probably Leaf Storm me, but it ain't going to do that much. So let me knock off, just take off its choice specs. But he turns out to be the sub-seed set with Citrus Berry and Harvest. But either way, it ended up being good for me, because now Harvest won't activate since my opponent does not have the item to begin with. Anyway, he's going to hit me with a Psychic. I knew I'd be able to take one, and I decided to set up one layer of Toxic Spikes, and I completely forgot about a Mungus. I don't know why I forgot about that thing, but I did. And anyway, my opponent's going to switch out now after I get the safe switch into my library through the Psychic, and he's going to go out to Bastion and take the Encore. Smart play on his part. He doesn't want to be encored into that cycling around my Sal Matos setup. But anyway, I'm going to go back out into my typical, predicting the Toxic, and now I'm going to take this time and set up my second layer of Toxic Spikes. But once again, I forgot about a Mungus. I don't know why I did. It was very, very stupid. Anyway, my opponent's going to go for Stealth Rocks, and knowing that I outspeed, I'm just going to go for the Rapid Spin. Like, screw your Stealth Rocks. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with the Stealth Rocks? I'm not letting the Stealth Rocks be a part of this game. Anyway, I'm going to expect him to go for Stealth Rocks again, and I'm like, you know what? He's probably just going to go for Stealth Rocks again and waste a turn, so let me just go for a knockoff. But unfortunately for me, my opponent does decide to switch out to the Mungus. I really wanted to get that knockoff on that Bastiodon. That way its leftovers recovery, it won't get any more leftovers recovery, and its 30 would be taken away. Anyway, because of Mungus, she decides to Giga Drain me, and this is the first game, I think, that Amungus's Liquid Ooze actually played in effect. But anyway, I'm able to Rapid Spin the Stealth Rocks away and go out into my Swallow to take the Giga Drain and just try to scare it off with the Brave Bird Facade. But I'm going to go for the U-turn, just predicting the switch into Bastiodon, knowing that Bastiodon pretty much walls Swallow completely, and in order for Swallow to actually kill anything, I need this Bastiodon taken away. So I'm going to U-turn out and I believe I want to go into my Tentacle. No, I actually go into my Golurk, just because if he decides, his 30 is broken, and if he decides to stay instead of Stealth Rocks, I can easily KO it with Earthquake. So this is a Life Orb, late game sweeper Golurk, therefore that Earthquake will cleanly be able to take that max defense Bastiodon out, and my opponent was a little surprised by that. And maybe the sub punch set wouldn't be able to take it out, but definitely the late game sweeper set could definitely take it out. Anyway, I'm gonna send out my Tentacle, knowing that it likes to scald, it likes to do the Fion likes to scald and do all this stuff. So I'm gonna send it out, and my opponent's gonna switch out using U-turn, and I'm thinking, crap, Executor is gonna come in. But oh well, I'm just gonna set up my Toxic Spike up because I didn't want to waste a turn going for knockoff, which he thought I was gonna do in the first place. Now I'm gonna send out my Lifer this turn, expecting the Psychic, but my opponent calls to go straight for the Weak Seed. And looking back on it, I really should have stayed in with Tentacle. At least he wouldn't be doing anything if I did, and it would have been a beautiful, beautiful turnaround. Now my opponent's gonna protect this turn. I should have called that as well, as I go for Swagger, just trying to get that confused hacks on it. Now I believe I'm just gonna go straight for a foul play this turn. Not entirely sure. I think this happened more than once during the game. My opponent's gonna switch out, go into the Amoonguss, and now I'm thinking, yeah, I'm pretty sure I went for the foul play right now. No, I go for the Encore. Alright, my fault. Once again, this happened more than once this game. Anyway, that move is going to get back up to full health thanks to Weak Seed recovery. And I'm forced to switch because I don't want my Lifer taking the score when I can still, like, troll everything. So I'm going to go out and select a Kugel. My opponent goes for Giga Drain instead. Whatever, Liquidity will take care of that. Yes, my Tentacle will go down, but Tentacle did his job this game. Tentacle made sure that Stealth Rocks was not up. That way Swallow can get free switch-ins without getting hurt. Now I'm going to send in Swallow now to scare off that Amoonguss, since I obviously have the free switch, and I'm going to go for the U-turn yet again just to get some nice damage on whatever wants to come in, since that Bastiodon is finally gone. So in comes the Fion, or is that Manaphy? I'm pretty sure it's Manaphy. And I'm going to send out Electros just to get some nice damage on it. My opponent decides to U-turn out, and odds are go into Amoonguss, or oh no, he goes into Alomomola. Now my opponent calls the Flamethrower very nicely, because I expected the Amoonguss switching with the U-turn, but my opponent knows what he is talking about. He knows what he is doing, so it goes down to Alomomola calling the Flamethrower, and I'm going to switch out into my Swallow, just because I'm expecting the Toxic, and Swallow was the only person left who was immune to Toxic thanks to the status ailment that it has. Now, I'm going to switch out here, just pull off a nice double switch back into my Electros, taking the Wish or the Protect, as he does go for Protect. And here I completely forgot that if Protect fails, you're free to go for it the next turn, and it will work 100% of the time. I don't know why I completely forgot about that, so I went for the Flamethrower again. And since obviously I'm Choice Spec, I am locked into Flamethrower, which really sucks, because now I'm forced to do another double switch. So I'm going to go out into my Credilli, and my opponent decides to Wish up, and I'm like, alright, you know what, this is a perfect time to set up my own Stealth Rocks. It has no spinner, therefore I could definitely set up my own Stealth Rocks, and it will do some nice damage on that Executor when it comes in, or it will do some nice damage on that Samurai when it comes in. My fault, I forgot the name for a sec. Anyway, I'm going to get the Stealth Rocks up, but unfortunately my Stealth Rocks comes with a price because my Credilli does get Toxic. Now I'm not too worried about that though, because I do carry the recover on my Credilli, and if I play it smart, I'll be able to get some good health back. And when I go to my Electros and Protect fails again, and I learned my lesson, I'm going to go straight for the Volt Switch. Screw Flamethrower, I'm going straight for the Volt Switch. Anyway, my opponent decides to Wish up, thinking that he could survive that Volt Switch. And if I was Choice Scarf, I'm pretty sure Alomomola would have been able to survive that Volt Switch. However, I am the Choice Spec variant. It is Stab, it is super effective, and it hits Alomomola on its weaker special defensive side. So, with this, I'm going to go out into my solo, just because nothing on this team other than Samurott will really want to take it from Swallow. And as you will see, he does send out Samurott, but I know the Aqua Jet's going to come, so I'm not even going to bother U-turning. I'm just going to switch out, just hard switch, and go out into my Credilli, knowing that he's definitely going to go for the Aqua Jet, because at this point, my Swallow is the biggest threat on my team to him. So I'm going to take that time to really just get some nice damage on Credilli. Now I was afraid, since it was a physical set, he will go for the Mega Horn, but he doesn't. He just switches out into the Executor right away as I go for the Energy Ball, thinking I might be able to take the Mega Horn. but it was a nice play on my opponent's part going on to the Executor. Now, I'm going to stay and go for the Earth Power just because I thought he would do for the Leech Seed, and since the switch is pretty obvious, let's get that straight, the switch is pretty obvious, but I don't want that Leech Seed on me. So, my opponent, I'm a little ahead of myself, I'm sorry. I take that toxic damage, and I just have to switch out now, thinking, alright, he knows I just want to stay in and just get as much damage on it, but he calls the switch into my Life Bird, and I get Leech Seed. Now, he is obviously going to protect his turn, because he can get some nice Leech Seed stall action going on. So, the Protect is going to come, and unfortunately for me, my Life Bird is going to have to take this Leech Seed as I go for the foul play, because I want to show him that I want to hurt your Executor. You're either going to stay in and die, or you're going to go out into Amoonguss. Either way, I don't care. I'm going to make sure that this Executor is going down. So my opponent decides to play wisely and go out into his Amoonguss, and because of that, I'm able to hit the foul play, which is very, very, very nice for me, because it does a decent amount of damage on that Amoonguss. However, Effect Spore activates yet again, and my Life Bird gets poisoned, which completely ruins its survivability. But anyway, I'm going to go for the Swagger this turn, hoping that it will hit and I just get some confusion hacks, you know what I'm saying? I didn't need to, but I just wanted some of that confusion hacks for later down the road. But unfortunately, I miss, and my opponent is able to Giga Drain me down to low health. And Poison plus Leech Seed will be able to take me out this turn. So bye-bye, Life Bird. This is one of the few games that Life Bird was not the MVP, I must admit. To be honest, the MVP was this Electros, as you will see here. The Electros is going to not be able to take out the Amoonguss, but be able to burn the Amoonguss and bring it down to really low HP, which is very nice for me as I get hit by the Giga Drain. The Giga Drain ain't going to do that much. I'm still going to be in nice green health, which is very beautiful for me. And I'm gonna switch out this turn. I could have just finished it off with Flamethrower, but I thought my opponent would decide to save Amoonguss as death fodder for later down on the road. But my opponent decided not to, so I'm gonna go out into Credilli. And at this point, I'm like, alright, I can definitely get a recover on this Amoonguss. I know I can survive the next Giga Drain. I know I can get a recover on this thing, and I know I will outspeed. So let me go for the recover. That way, you know, I can get back up to some decent health to the point where I can possibly survive Omega Horn from that same round and hit it with Energy Ball. However, fate does not want it that way, because my opponent does get a crit on the Giga Drain, which brings me down to pretty much where I was after poison damage takes its toll. And I'm thinking, alright, you know what, just let me kill this Amoonguss. Credilli, I don't really need Credilli to win this game, just let me kill Amoonguss. But I misclick and go for Stealth Rocks, and I'm like, no! Because now my Credilli is going to go down thanks to the poison damage, and the Amoonguss is still alive. Wow, I really meant to go for the Earth Power. It would definitely KO the Amoonguss from that range, especially since it's super effective. Now, luckily for me, because of the burn damage, the Amoonguss is still really low red health. I can just send in Electros to Volt Switch and take him out. Now, the Volt Switch is going to take out the Amoonguss, and instead for going out into my Swellow, I'm going to go out to my Golurk, because I really don't want any more burn damage on that Swellow. Like I said earlier, every HP on that Swellow counts. So I'm going to go out to my Golurk, and he sends out Stamron. I'm thinking, alright, you know what, Golurk, you did your job this game by taking out that Basquiodon. I don't need you anymore. Bye-bye. Good job. Hit the showers. Bye. That's basically what I was thinking in my head. I really do not need that Golurk anymore. So anyway, I'm going to send out Electros on the free switch, and this is the play of the game. My fault for stuttering. The play of the game. My opponent decides to go for Aqua Jet except for Waterfall, even though my opponent would have outsped, which allows me to one-shot that Samurott, and I'm pretty sure I would have been able to survive the Waterfall, but I would have been in red health, and as you will see, this Fion's going to come and outspeed me, go for the Scald, and I will live with a small amount of HP, 21 HP I will live in, and he won't get the burn, which allows me to take out the Fion with the Thunderbolt. So that was the play of the game by my opponent going for the Aqua Jet except the Waterfall. And now the Executor comes in, which allows me to go for the Thunderbolt and get some nice damage on this Executor. And now the Executor is going to go for the Psychic to take out my Electros. So Electros, MVP of the game. That's right, it's you, Electros. Now I'm going to send out Swellow, and since Stealth Fox is no longer up, I got 38 HP. He's in low red HP. He's going to go for Protect, try to get that Burn Stall on me, try to take me out Burn Stall. And now, but I live the burn. And now it comes down to this one quick attack. This the Protect failed. and I win the game in a quick 1-0 victory against Hopeless. That's a really good game, Hopeless. You know, we can battle anytime you want. I love those close battles. They're all exciting and fun. Anyway, I'm RG Madao, and I will see y'all later. Oh wait, one more thing. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all later.